It's holiday time in D.C.
And district seniors are going high tech.
All that and so much more coming up on this edition of We Are Washington. Welcome to We Are Washington. Today we're visiting with the Washington Chorus as they bring the sounds of the holiday season to the district.
And keeping with that theme, we're talking with the actors in a holiday must-see happening at Ford's Theater. But before we get to all that, it's time for the news rundown. Mayor Marian Berry has chosen Antoine Wilson as the next chancellor of D.C. Public Schools. Mr. Wilson currently serves as superintendent of the Oakland Unified School District. Mayor Berry praised Wilson for his 20-plus years in education, having served in a variety of roles from teacher to principal to superintendent.
There is only one District of Columbia. It is a school district that is the premier school district in the country. The tremendous opportunity to make a difference for the young people here and have a tremendous impact on young people across the country. As was mentioned, I believe wholeheartedly in academic, social, emotional learning. I believe it's extremely important to make sure that schools are places that educate young people and prepare them for success. Not just academic success, but success as people. I look forward to being a part of that effort. I'm so excited to be here and to do the work on behalf of the children and with the educators here in DC.
Mr. Wilson will move to D.C. in February with his family when he takes over as DCPS chancellor. His 3 school-aged children will attend D.C. public schools.
The new chancellor will take over as DCPS has become one of the fastest improving urban school districts in the country, with increases in enrollment, graduation rates, and academic achievement. Mayor Berry described how she plans to build on this success while working to close the achievement gap.
The success of our city is directly related to our public schools, and that is why it's been my commitment to make historic investments in our schools. $220 million additional in the 2 years that I've been mayor to modernize our schools. We've expanded access to the extended year programming at 11 schools, going directly at the children who need it the most, giving them 20 extra days of instruction.
Mayor Berry proves she's a quick study as she helped make crepes at an event with Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo.
The 2 mayors were joined by students from Brightwood Education Campus for a discussion on the benefits of international travel, cultural exposure, and environmental protection. Chef Mike Mendelson, who serves as chairman of the DC Food Policy Council, helped the mayors and the students perfect their crepe making technique.
It was an emotional day for 20 local children and their families as they took part in the 30th annual DC Adoption Day. The ceremony celebrates the joys of adoption and encourages residents to consider adopting or fostering a child in the district's child welfare system. Comedian Kim Whitley, who is also an adoptive mom, was the special guest speaker at the event.
There's no stigma about adoption. I want all these children to know, and I tell Joshua, you are chosen. You are chosen. That is the best thing. My mama and daddy didn't have a choice. So you are chosen to be loved. And I always say, Joshua, he might not have come through me, but he came to me. And he was born in my heart. And I could not tell you. I couldn't imagine my life without him.
The Cleveland Park Citizens Association got to hear directly from the mayor on a variety of topics. Mayor Berry attended one of their meetings at Congressional Church on Lowell Street Northwest. Residents asked questions about Beach Drive construction, affordable housing, and education.
Ward 8 residents are receiving 1,600 turkeys for their family feast this holiday season. The turkey giveaway is part of a tradition started by Mayor Marian Berry. Incoming Ward 8 Councilmember Trayon White is keeping up the turkey tradition, which took place at the Temple of Praise in Southeast.
The need is so great in the community around just basic needs, around housing, services, food. And so Councilmember Mayor for Life Marian Berry started this initiative. And so when he passed, as a mentee of his, I think have to keep it going, obligated to keep it going because the need is so great. People are piling in upstairs, coming in, calling the phone, calling the office. And so you can tell that people want to be served on this holiday season.
Woodson High School football is celebrating another championship following their Turkey Bowl win against the Wilson Tigers.
The DCIAA championship matchup held annually on Thanksgiving Day is now in its 47th year. The two teams met on the Eastern High School football field for a game that was at times reminiscent of old school playground football, ducking and dodging tackles along with a decent helping of trick plays. The game stayed close throughout the four quarters, but in the end, Wilson just couldn't put the game away. Woodson brings home their fourth consecutive championship with a 22-20 victory. It's time once again for Alley-Palooza.
Mayor Muriel Bowser and DDOT Director Leif Dormsjo are launching the fourth Alley-Palooza campaign. The initiative aims to repair or renovate alleyways in all 8 wards.
We started Alley-Palooza just over a year ago in July 2015. And since then, the district has repaired or reconstructed nearly 300 alleys across all 8 wards in the District of Columbia. We are always have to be talking about investing in our infrastructure because that's the only way that we can make sure we enjoy a great quality of life for those of us who live here right now, and for all of those who want to live in Washington, D.C.
Show love, shop small. That's the idea behind Small Business Saturday, which encourages shoppers to support small businesses in their neighborhoods. The mayor celebrated the day along with council members and business leaders at a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new restaurant called the Shaw Bijou.
Seniors in Ward 4 are getting some hands-on training in using mobile technology thanks to Councilmember Brendan Todd and Verizon. The Technology Workshop series is helping seniors across the ward learn the basics of using their smartphones and tablets, keeping them connected to friends and family, and getting them in touch with helpful government services. Seniors are also getting an important lesson in internet security, ensuring they don't become victims of online crime.
Seniors in DC are growing. I think we have 105,000 seniors across the city, and that number increases every single day. Seniors are a big part of the United States. They're a growing population. They're aging more, they're living longer and healthier lives, and the more that governments across the U.S. and certainly in this region can do to help them feel a part of the future, I think is very, very important.
I'm 90 years old. I still like to keep up with what's happening. I have a lot of young friends, even young relatives. And in fact, one has started texting me already since she found out I had my iPhone.
What a great program. Technology is so important for seniors.
Very important. Let me tell you why I like that program. Because when I look at what's happening with technology and I'm teaching the seniors technology, I'm wondering what it's going to be like for me when I become, of that age, and where's technology going?
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm counting on there being robots by that time.
Maybe,
to take care of it for us.
It's, you know what? Honestly, it is a nice thing to see because there are a lot of the seniors that we talked to when we were there that were interested in learning things not just about texting and Facebook and the things that you might think, but they're talking about things like Uber.
Oh, so important.
They want to set up an Uber account so that they can go and get out, go to church, go down to the one was telling me go down to the garden shop. Mm-hmm. So very, very cool that they're wanting to keep in touch with these things and go out in that
I
level.
set it up for my father.
Did you?
Yes.
That's
he's
great.
Very happy.
See? All right. Well, coming up, we're checking in with the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future as we talk with the actors taking the stage at Ford Theater as part of the holiday classic, A Christmas Carole. Don't go away.
For many, the holidays just wouldn't be complete without Scrooge.
The must-see holiday classic, A Christmas Carole, has been a tradition at Ford's Theater for 35 years. We caught up with two of the actors featured in Charles Dickens' classic tale of redemption.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy
We're here at the fabulous Ford's Theater, which is celebrating the 35th annual production of A Christmas Carole, which I know everybody looks forward to. And I have two of the wonderful actors here, Rick and Maria. Rick, tell me about the role you play and a little bit about the show.
I play Mr. Fezziwig, and this is
Mrs. Fezziwig.
and the role of the Fezziwigs really are to kind of take you back to Scrooge's past in an innocent, happier time when he was not involved with money and forgotten relationships with people, and he's happy. The scene we do is all really about love and having fun, and that's sort of what the Fezziwigs represent in the story.
The good old days,
Exactly.
and when Scrooge wasn't Scrooge.
Exactly.
And tell me in general, what do you think makes this particular production so special?
Well, being in Ford's Theater, it's an amazing space to begin with, and the team at Ford's, they're wonderful. All the actors in the show, we all have a great time together. We've got new kids every year, and then being able to see the audience and their reactions to the show and how much it moves them is really a special experience.
And it must really help you get into the holiday spirit of things. I mean, you can't not. And I know, this is one of my favorite stories. I love A Christmas Carole. I know why it resonates for me, but why do you think it still has such an impact on today's audiences?
Well, I think when the show was written, unfortunately, that is the same as today. We still have people who are more fortunate and people who are less fortunate. And when you see a show like this, it shows what difference a person or a group of people can do for the people who don't have as much. And what's nice about this production, for 8 years now, when this production's done, we choose a charity each year, and then we collect donations for that charity. This year, the nonprofit is Food and Friends, and literally all of the money we collect goes to them, and they do a great job of getting it to men, women, and children who are dealing with life-threatening illnesses and don't have food. So it's such a great thing to take what you do on stage and then apply it to the real world and make it better.
It's a perfect situation because I know everybody in the audience, you can't help but think about your own life and think about all the times, I wish I would have done more. And then you have this great opportunity right after the show to do more and to help out. So I think that's a great fit. But lastly, Maria, tell me, just in general, what do you enjoy most when you're doing the show? Is there something you look forward to in particular that you get a chance to do? What could it be?
There's so many things in the show that I love, but I would have to say being Mrs. Fezziwig and being in the Fezziwig Ball in their party where we see Scrooge be in love and fall in love, but also you get to see relationships between other characters and everyone's dancing and having a wonderful time.
Yeah, it's a huge production number, and you can feel the audience really enjoy it with you.
And it's like, why don't they have parties like that anymore? Like, I would love to go to a party like that, where, people just don't do that, where you have like kind of a formal sit-down dinner, but then you clear out the chairs. Now it's time to dance.
To be out right now. What's that about?
I don't know.
It's time to bring it back, right?
I'm there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys. I know everybody loves this production, and thank you for helping us really get into the holidays. Welcome back to We Are Washington. I'm here with Chase Maggiano. He is the executive director of the Washington Chorus, which just finished up a beautiful practice. And for people who aren't familiar with the organization, tell me a little bit about the history of the Washington Chorus.
Well, we are so glad you're here. The Washington Chorus has been around for 56 years. We're one of the premier choral ensembles in the region. We get invited to sing with the National Symphony quite frequently. We get invited up to New York to do concerts up there, and we have our own subscription series at the Kennedy Center.
And tell me a little bit about the people who decide they want to be a part of the chorus. Say if somebody hears this and is like feeling inspired, what are the kinds of people who have joined the Washington Chorus?
Well, we have an incredible diversity of singers, all ages, all backgrounds, all talent levels, and we have an audition process, and auditions take place several times throughout the year, and you can find information on our website at thewashingtonchorus.org.
Okay, so if anybody's singing in the shower and feeling inspired, they have a place that they can go and audition.
We love shower singers, absolutely.
And I know you guys are getting ready for one of your biggest shows of the year, and that's the holiday concert, A Candlelight Christmas. Tell me about that performance and why it's so special.
It is an amazing performance. We're doing 6 of them this year, 5 at the Kennedy Center and 1 at Strathmore up in Bethesda. And what's so special about this concert is when our singers come in the beginning, you see 200 candles lining the audience. And then throughout the night, you'll have sing-alongs, you'll have time for reflection, you'll have really joyous, exuberant songs, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful time for everybody.
And I could tell just being, in the room for the rehearsal, you can really can't help but start to get into the holiday spirit when you hear those beautiful holiday songs sung so amazingly. I mean, it really is a talented chorus. It's amazing how many people who are, not professionals, can sing at that level.
Well, the Washington Chorus is made up of mostly volunteers. We do have a small professional corps of singers, but what I love about this concert is that we do these over-the-top, beautiful arrangements of classic Christmas carols, and it's really kind of a concert for everybody. For instance, we have one program where we are inviting young parents to come bring their kids, and we'll have a play area outside of the concert hall for them.
Yes.
Exactly. But we'll still have a television screen and speakers so that they can enjoy the concert.
Very inclusive, because usually, young parents, it's like you just kind of are shut off, from the world until your kids are about 5, and then you can go back out to the world. And I know you also reach out to a lot of younger singers too. You have a junior chorus. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, one of my favorite things about the Candlelight Christmas concert is it features 2 local high schools. It's part of our side-by-side program. And we bring local high schools up on stage with us, and they actually sing their own set of music, and then they come into the chorus side-by-side with our adult singers and sing the rest of the concert with us. So it's a great experience for them, and also great for us to get to know these young musicians and help develop the next generation of singers.
What an experience for them performing at the Kennedy Center or these other venues.
It's amazing. I can't imagine what it would have been like at that age to do that.
And I know, but you guys do other things other than the big holiday show. What other big shows do you have after the holidays?
We sure do. Well, we have a whole subscription series at the Kennedy Center, and our next concert in February is actually really interesting because this year we are celebrating the 10th year of our music director, Julian Walkner. So we're featuring a concert, all of his original compositions. So that'll be a very unique opportunity to get to know his music, but also hear from him in an interactive setting where he'll tell about the music, about his process in writing it.
Well, a lot of pressure for the singers.
Right, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come and share in this experience and get a little behind the scenes and helping us to really get into the holiday spirit.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the concert hall.
This year I am determined to bring my entire family to a candlelight Christmas because I was really inspired by the Washington Chorus, and I think it's really what I need to fully get into the holiday spirit.
I agree. And I think it'll be a fantastic show. They're obviously very talented. They put in a lot of hard work. I think that's a good choice. Yeah. Well, that's all the time that we have for today, but as always, we do have time for one last thing. So, Cecily, what do we have today?
Well, I was so inspired talking to those actors at Ford's Theater, and I love A Christmas Carole because I love the story of redemption and second chances because I'm always looking for a second chance myself. But it turns out it only took Charles Dickens 6 weeks to complete that novel.
6 weeks.
Not a lot of time.
That's not a lot of time, and you have to think about that because that's not like today when you can go and sit on your computer, open up a Word document, and type away, and you're all done. This is when you had to painstakingly dip a pen into ink and write out every single letter, right?
With perfect handwriting.
Exactly. Well, when you had to sit down, when you want to write a book and you're thinking about writing a book, you really had to sit down and write a book, right?
But then again, you had no distractions.
That's probably the answer.
No texting, no cell phone, so maybe 6 weeks went a lot further.
That's right. Maybe it was a lot easier to sit down and concentrate and make it happen.
And something important to keep in mind for this holiday season.
Yep.
Let's put away the phones.
A good message. There you go.
Put away the stop tweeting. A lot of us.
Minimize distractions.
Yes.
All right. Well, that will do it for us today. Thanks so much for spending time with us and watching.
See you next time.